What's going on, everybody? Top 10 Pokemon back, bringing you the top Pokemon card auctions of the week. We have this week the Battle of Two Monsters, the first edition PSA 10 base set Charizard versus the first edition PSA 10 Lugia Holo from Neo Genesis, and we are going to find out which one stonked the hardest. And of course, what I mean by that is what are the prices that these cards are selling for nowadays compared to what they were selling for this time a year ago. So stay tuned to the end for that. Please, as I always say, give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and do consider subscribing to this channel so I can keep bringing you more of this top 10 Pokemon goodness. Let's start off the auctions of the week with the newest set, Evolving Skies, seeing what some of these PSA graded cards are going for this set, starting with this Espeon V, an amazing illustration. This one is a PSA 6 that sold for $76. Could you imagine spending like $200 to grade this card? That's probably about what it cost. And then it coming back as a 6. I mean, just, ugh, that is awful. But we did see a PSA 10 copy of this card sell for $307.99 this week. There was also a Sylveon V alternate artwork that sold as a PSA 10 for $378. The Umbreon V Max, we had two sell, one for $595 and the other one for $562 as a PSA 10. We had the Glaceon V Max in PSA 10 sell for $425. And the Leafeon V alternate artwork sold for $407 this week. Here is the Dragonite V alternate artwork, still hitting some impressive numbers at $582 for this copy. And lastly, for Evolving Skies, we have the Rayquaza V Max in PSA 10. A few examples came by in auction. One sold for $820, another one sold for $787, and the last one here sold for $750. So we're seeing this card trending downward as far as a PSA 10 goes. This was for the past week or two selling around $1,000. This week between $750 to $850 seems to be about where that price point is at. Now, we did have a couple of BGS 10 examples of these cards from Evolving Skies. There was one BGS 10 Umbreon V Max that sold for $1,375. And then we did have a Black Label Rayquaza V alternate artwork that sold for $3,100. Here are a couple of on-the-ball cards. I believe there were 5 cards in this set, Grookey being one of them. So this Grookey on the ball in PSA 10 sold for $108, and then the Eevee on the ball sold for $204 this week. I believe there's also a Pikachu from this set, but I'm not sure about the other 2 cards. I'll have to put that up on the screen. But these 2 came by in auction, not ones you see very often. Here is a Charizard Gx from Hidden Fates that sold as a PSA 10 for $900, which is pretty close to where we've been seeing this card for the past couple years, it seems. And then we had a BGS 10 Black Label copy of this card sell for $6,024 US. If you think that price disparity is impressive, check this out. We had a Pikachu V Max sell as a PSA 10 for $600 even, and another one sold as a little bit stronger of a PSA 10 for $730. And then the BGS 10 Black Label of this card sold for a whopping $7,100. So folks, that is about 10 times as much for the Black Label copy of this card than it is for the PSA 10. What do y'all think of that? Unbelievable, the premium that Black Labels carry. Alright, we have a couple of base set holos to go over. This Unlimited Mewtwo holo in PSA 10 sold for $802. Not too bad. Then the Clefairy PSA 10 sold for $823. And to those of you who are watching and are wondering why a Clefairy would sell for more than a Mewtwo, it's because the Clefairy, I think, might be like the second lowest pop card as far as holographics in this set. So it usually goes for a little bit more because the Mewtwo card was actually a theme deck card. There's a lot more graded, so that's why. And then we had a first edition Machamp. This is the shadowed variant. Sell as a PSA 10 for $740 this week. Here is a couple of auctions from none other than Z&G Emporium. He's been listing cards left and right for auction, I think, for a lot of people. Here is a Shadowless Venusaur PSA 9 that sold for $870. The Blastoise Mint 9 sold for $1,400. And then you had a PSA 8 Shadowless Charizard that sold for $2,294. And then lastly, we had a Lugia EX from Unseen Forces sell as a PSA 9 for $925. An extremely expensive card as a PSA 10. Of course, he had a lot more listed than this. These are just the ones that caught my eye, and I wanted to make mention of these. It's always nice to go over auctions from someone that's reputable like Z&G, so you know that the outcomes are legitimate and nothing's getting shill bidded. All right, a couple fossil cards here. We have a Zapdos First Edition Holo from Fossil Set that sold for $565, and then the Dragonite PSA 10 First Edition sold for $4,827. From Gym Heroes, we have this beautiful Blaine's Moltres in PSA 10 that sold for $3,850. This is a First Edition copy. And we have the Typhlosion 17 got a CGC 9. How much is a First Edition Typhlosion 17 sell for as a CGC 9? About $1,500. So it's pretty interesting. And then also from Neo Genesis, we had a First Edition Holo for Alligator sell as a PSA 10 for $1,525. Here is an Arcanine Holo from Aquapolis Set PSA 10 that sold for $910. The Arcanine Holo from Skyridge sold as a PSA 10 for $1,038. And then from Black and White Plasma Storm, we have the Secret Rare Blastoise card in PSA 10 that sold for $1,876. Not my favorite illustration, but pretty expensive card nonetheless. Here is a Charizard from EX Dragon Set. This is a Holo in PSA 10 that sold for $3,605. Now on to some sealed product here. We had an XY Flashfire Booster Box sell for $2,670. You know, this box, it's not exactly a five-figure box, but it has been going like this over the past year or two. It has had a steady increase. We've seen numbers higher than this, but $2,670 isn't too bad of a price for this box. Here we have a lot of three theme decks, the Turmoil and Lava theme decks from Legendary Collection, and then a base set two-player starter theme deck that sold for $4,087. Those Legendary Collection theme decks are crazy hard to get your hands on. They always go for pretty hefty prices. Those are probably two of the most expensive theme decks you can get your hands on, aside from the Gold Strip base set theme decks, which are like guaranteed shadowless. Other than that, these two guys right here are probably going to be the most expensive. We had an unlimited Gym Heroes booster box sell for $6,100, and then a First Edition booster box from Gym Heroes sold for $9,600. The Gym Challenge First Edition booster box sold for $11,100 this week. And then here, check this out. Remember last week I covered a empty Skyridge booster box with some empty packs. It sold for like $500. This week we had an empty Expedition booster box with 48 empty booster packs that sold for $655. Just blows my mind every time I see these kind of numbers towards empty product. What do y'all think about that? A couple of Japanese cards here that were very notable before we get to our Charizard section. Here is an 8600 Daisuke Club Master Scroll promo that sold from none other than TCA Gaming for $8,954 as a PSA 6. He got the goods. We had a 2005 Japanese promo Spring Battle Road card featuring Pikachu holding the ring there. It sold for $36,000 as a PSA 10. All right, here we have a lineup of Charizards that sold this week from all different kinds of auction sites. Here is a PSA 10 First Edition Dark Charizard from Team Rocket set that sold for $4,050. And then we had the Japanese base set Holo Charizard in PSA 10 that sold for $4,900. Here from a PWCC auction, we have the Crystal Charizard from Skyridge that sold for $13,200 as a PSA 10. That is quite a bit lower than we've seen in the past. In the past, it was going for nearly $20,000, like more in that area. So $13,200 is quite a decrease from what we're used to seeing in this card. Here is a Japanese Top Sun Blueback Charizard card that sold as a PSA 10 for $15,600 from a PWCC auction as well. A Gold Star Charizard from EX Dragon Frontier sold as a PSA 10 this week for $16,800. That's also down from what we're used to seeing in this card as well. All right, and here it is. Here's the big guys, the big sales of the week. In a PWCC auction, we got a first edition PSA 10 base set Charizard sell for $252,000. And then we had another copy of this card sell in golden auctions for $270,000. Now, I believe back in March, a first edition PSA 10 base set Charizard sold for nearly $400,000. So you're looking at quite a decrease in value there, about $130,000 less for these examples. So that stomped pretty hard since last March. But if we take a look at the first edition PSA 10 Lugia from Neo Genesis, which also sold at golden auctions for $47,970. Now, if y'all remember back in November, this card dropped all of our jaws when it sold in auction for $129,000. So percentage-wise, from then till now, between first edition base set Charizard and first edition Lugia in PSA 10, the Lugia actually stonked a lot harder, losing a much bigger percentage from the $129,000 sale to the $47,000 sale we saw this week. Now, that's not to say that this card won't go up or the Charizard won't go up or down. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just objectively showing you the decrease that happened in over a year. The first edition Lugia came up so fast. It was like 1 week, the first edition Lugia was a matter of like $2,000 as a PSA 10, and it seemed like the following week it went up to over 6 figures in value. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it so much. Like I said, please let me know what you thought of the auctions this week, and don't forget to give this video a like, and I will see you all very soon.